Let's talk about AI, but I want you to forget about the kind of AI you're used to. The one that has to talk to itself just to think. Today, we're diving into something totally different, a new model that operates more on a gut feeling. It's almost like a nonverbal instinct. And trust me, it's a fascinating leap forward. And that brings us to the big question, right? Can an AI actually have instinct? I mean, obviously not a biological one like we do, but a functional equivalent, a kind of immediate, nonverbal understanding of the world around it. It's a really provocative idea, and it's right at the heart of what we're talking about today. Okay, so to really get the difference, think about how traditional AI thinks. It's like it has this inner monologue generating a sequence of words just to form a complete thought. Now picture a pro baseball player catching a fly ball. They don't have time to narrate the physics of the ball's trajectory in their head, right? They just know where to move. That's what we're calling silent knowing, and it's the conceptual leap we're about to explore. So how in the world are researchers trying to build this kind of AI? Well, that brings us to the star of our explainer today, a brand new model called VL-JEPA, and its whole approach is just fundamentally different from what we've seen before. So VL-JEPA stands for Vision Language Joint Embedding Predictive Architecture. Yeah, that is a mouthful, I know, but the really crucial part is this. It learns by predicting meaning, the core essence of an idea, directly from what it sees. It completely skips that slow, step-by-step process of generating words. And this is the key shift in thinking right here. See, unlike an AI that has to narrate the world to understand it, a person is walking, now they're opening a door. VL-JEPA is much more like a silent observer. It just maintains this continuous, persistent awareness of what's happening without needing to talk about it at all. To really wrap your head around this, we need to go inside the world that VL-JEPA operates in. It's not a world of words and sentences. It's a world built entirely on meaning. And that all comes down to a really cool concept called semantics. So the key idea here is semantics. What is that? Well, it's the core meaning of an idea. It's what's left after you strip away all the specific words, the grammar, and the style. It's the pure concept itself. I love this analogy. Here's a great way to think about it. If language is the clothes, then semantics is the person underneath. VL-JEPA is designed to recognize the person no matter what clothes they happen to be wearing that day. So how does it organize all these different meanings? Well, it groups them together. You can actually think of its internal mind as this giant map of concepts, where all the ideas with similar meanings live together in the same semantic neighborhood. Let me give you an example. A traditional AI might look at "the food is good" and "the meal is delicious" and see two totally different strings of words. But for VL-JEPA, nope. They both represent the exact same core idea, a positive culinary experience. In its mind, these two sentences are just different houses on the same street in that neighborhood. So why does this matter so much? Well, for a traditional AI, the phrase "the lamp is turned off" and the phrase "the room will go dark" are completely unrelated. They don't share any words. This creates really messy, confusing signals when you're trying to train it. But VL-JEPA gets it. It recognizes they mean the same thing and collapses them into a single, clean target. This makes its learning process way, way more efficient. Now, this understanding it builds isn't just a static map of fixed points. It's incredibly dynamic. The AI's awareness actually follows this continuous path as it watches events unfold over time. Think about it like this. Its internal representation of reality is the smooth, evolving state. It flows forward, tracking how an action begins, how it continues, and how it ends. It's not a series of disconnected snapshots. It's more like a continuous movie playing inside the AI's mind. And this whole process unfolds in these really logical stages. So as information starts trickling in, the AI makes a tentative prediction, a first guess. Then, as more evidence arrives, that uncertainty starts to resolve, and its internal state kind of flows until it settles on a stable understanding, right in the correct semantic neighborhood. It's literally learning to distinguish the signal from the noise. So, what happens when you bring all of this together? When you have an AI that understands meaning without words, that groups ideas together intelligently, and that tracks reality in this continuous flow? Well, what you get is something that looks remarkably like instinct. This means VL-JEPA is starting to show these instinct-like behaviors. It understands things before any words are ever formed. It has a silent, persistent awareness of what's going on around it. Its thinking happens in this nonverbal, perceptual core. And this is huge. It's fast enough for real-world robotics, where stopping to think by talking is just way too slow to be useful. What this all really amounts to is a foundational, nonverbal grasp of reality. It's not just processing language. It's perceiving the world directly, through the lens of pure meaning. It's a functional parallel to that silent, immediate knowing that we call instinct. And that leaves us with a really fascinating final thought, doesn't it? We've spent years and years building AIs that can talk. But if this next generation of AI can truly understand the world without ever needing to speak, what does that unlock? What comes next?